Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex. Presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. Thanks for being with us on the program. Our show is always brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives. Make the G2G Bar perfect for anybody who needs that quick, tasty, nutritious boost. JJ, will you please at least read the tweet that we got before we have our guest on? I don't want to read it while he's on.
Okay, so give everyone context.
So the context is this. What's Arbuckle's first name? Craig? All right, Ben Arbuckle.
Craig Arbuckle? We're just making stuff up here.
Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator at Washington State, who was highly sought after. And I think Utah had the inside track on him over the weekend. Then suddenly Oklahoma shows up to the party.
With a bag.
With the bag. And today he inked a 3-year deal to be their offensive coordinator, according to Pete Thamel from ESPN, which means Utah's offensive coordinator search that I think a lot of people thought may have been done is not. And now they have to change things over, which, of course, brought us to the internet still being undefeated. JJ, you just saw this tweet. What
certainly is. Someone took the Mark Harlan meme. We all know what it is from his infamous press conference after the Utah-BYU game. And it says, quote, Arbuckle was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about hiring an OC, but tonight I am not.
No. Hey, people are funny, man. People are funny. It's a hard thing. I don't know where you go from here. What stinks about it is
come on. There's like 5,000 OCs out there.
I know, but when it's not your first choice, that's why.
It's life, man.
I know. And that's why, because what was Mark Pope choice-wise for Kentucky?
Like 10th, but look it's the perfect fit.
I know. I'm just saying.
They'll find somebody that works.
You don't like being that second or third option.
No.
I mean, you'll take the money. And cry yourself to sleep tonight on your big pillow full of money. But
nobody in Utah fans didn't know who Ben Arbuckle was until this weekend.
They thought he was Craig Arbuckle.
Right.
All right. We'll jump in here. It's the start of the show of this hour, and of course we're going to get SLY, our guy, on. Stevens and Sylvester, former NFL quarterback. Why not? Give him a shot. Linebacker and Utah linebacker, of course. That's where we're going to kick things off with the cut. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And, of course, this portion of the show brought to you by Trajan Wealth, Trajan Wealth, for all your retirement needs. Stevens and Sylvester was on the sidelines for that Utah win over UCF on Friday night. SLY joins us now. SLY, I made you almost a quarterback there. That would have been the most exciting time of your life. You would have almost been a former quarterback.
Listen, if Coach would have just put me in, we would have been state champions. No doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind.
I know.
And no doubt you could throw a pigskin over that about a quarter mile over that mountain. No doubt about it. I believe in you, SLY.
SLY, please give us the scene on Friday night in Orlando. It was a weird game because both teams felt like, okay, which one is going to want this and which one's not going to want this more, whatever it was. But Utah ended up with the 28-14 win, and they avoid the infamy of an 8 losses in a row. And they don't do that. But still, I think everybody looks at this and goes, yeah, that was kind of nice. Batari got the win. It was a good way to send out the seniors.
Yeah, I mean, at first it felt like a Utah game. It was not warm. It was not Florida weather at all. I was freezing my butt off out there. I was expecting 80 degrees. I did not bring appropriate clothes, but you know what? I still made it happen. I couldn't let the team see me sweat. Got to be tough. It was a great game. It was great energy. I think, before the game, I was just seeing everybody take the field, and there was just so much love and hugs going around for the seniors. Right. So that energy was all about, putting it on for the seniors and putting their best foot forward. There was nobody who was going to take a back seat in this game. And it was absolutely awesome to watch them, go out there and work. The defense doing what they should have done all season and score, right? It was these last couple weeks, man. We were afraid of not getting 21 straight seasons of a pick six, and we getting 3 in the last 2 weeks is awesome. But honestly, we should have been doing that from the jump. We should have had that mentality of scoring on defense and not worrying about the offense from jump. But it was great. I mean, offense wasn't perfect, but we moved the ball down the field. We took care of the ball, and we didn't put our defense in bad positions in the game. And so that was just beneficial, all the way around. The vibe was great. One of the big things that I noticed is how good R.J. Harvey is. I am we've talked about him. I've seen stats, yada, 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 but watching him in person, that's an NFL back. He's shorter in stature, but I've seen a ton of guys his height have success. The way he's built, how he moves, he has a great feel for the running game. I think he's going to have a successful running career. We can talk about a lot of NFL draft stuff here in the spring, but I really like that guy, and I think that he's going to be a good fit on a lot of different teams, whoever decides to choose him. But our seniors being able to go out with the W, it was the race to 5. Right? It was race to 5 wins. It felt like what that game was. But they had bad quarterback play on their side. Things weren't going well, but, all counts to our defense, putting pressure on them. But the scene in the locker room, after the win, everybody being elated, it's a very different vibe. We haven't won since, September 22nd. Oof. And, just doing post-game interviews and everybody's energy after the game was just so different, and I miss those days for sure.
Yeah, the team and the program badly needed that win, but now everyone's focus turns to next season because this season was such a disappointment, and we're going to get into all the stuff that we can look forward to. I got to start with Kyle Whittingham because I think that's the first domino that needs to fall. You know him really well. You played for him. You've been around him. You were even around him this weekend. Do you have any gut feel on what he's going to do, and what do you think is going to be the difference in his decision? What's going to make the difference one way or the other?
I mean, ultimately, the difference is going to be when he wakes up. He's going to say, Coach Witt's a goal-orientated guy, right? So he's going to have a date, whether that was today, maybe it's not announced publicly, whether that was today, tomorrow, Wednesday, by signing day, whatever it is. He had a date in mind where he wanted to make his decision known at that moment. And the difference is going to be what he feels that morning. He could have tons of conversations with his wife, Jamie. He could talk to his kids and family and all this stuff. And it could all change that morning because he's still a competitor, man. Even at his age, he still has that athlete, competitive nature, mindset. He loves the game of football. He talks about not being Lavelle or his dad, but I'm just like, you got that blood in you, man. That's that football blood, and it's so hard to pull away from, especially when everything's in place already, right? Everything's in place, and so you would really have to uproot yourself and get out of that. But ultimately, just the feels of everything. And I don't know if, this was just something that where, just in case I did make a decision not to come back, let me make sure I soak this in. But I got a lot of that feeling, in Orlando where he was kind of soaking in that last moment, right? And it was very hard, I think, to even watch. I was a part of his first recruiting class as a head coach, and just to see his journey and be here for this game, it was kind of special. But, I hope he comes back. That's mine. I think he has one more year in him. And then call it quits after that. But all in all, I really don't have a clue. But if I was guessing, I would say that was his last game.
Wow.
I think that it's going to have to be after they figure out an offensive coordinator before he at least makes public what that decision is. With the news that Ben Arbuckle takes a job at Oklahoma, how close do you think they really were in trying to buckle down somebody like him versus how open has the search been, or were they pretty set on trying to get him and then everything fell through?
No, I mean, it's as you said, nobody wants to be somebody's second choice, right? Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think these guys are kind of getting used to the recruiting process with how the athletes and these high school guys have treated these guys and flipping their decisions and decommitting and going all this. I mean, Coach Witt said it kind of in the post game where he's just like, it's an ongoing thing. Even when you say you got somebody, it's not really said and done until they're actually here, right? And so, these guys can flip and do all kinds of different things. And apparently it's the same thing with the coaches. I mean, I don't know if it was solidified, but they've probably been talking to a few people. As I said, they've been doing the OC search for a few weeks, and it's not something that they've taken lightly. They've been very aggressive with it. So I think they have a few people that they want. They just haven't got it figured out yet. And so I don't think Coach Whittingham's decision will determine on that. Even publicly, I don't think that that's something that they're waiting on. I think that the transition from a head coach to another head coach is not easy, even when it's been known. So I think they're just making sure everything is all good to go if they are transitioning this year. And if he doesn't say nothing, that means he's staying. So, hey, I just think that it's not an easy decision with all of that. And the OC search continues. I just hope they make a solid choice and somebody who understands the personnel and has an aggressive mentality, not somebody who's kind of laid back and is playing not to lose. I want somebody who wants to dominate and score 40, 50 points per game. Do it respectively, of course, but score 40-plus points per game because this defense, if they can hold people under 20 points per game and you're scoring 40, you're going to win a lot of games.
I agree 100%, and they've got to find the right guy here in the right system and the right identity, and this is an opportunity to define the identity of offense at Utah for the next decade or so. And so this is a massive hire for them, and Morgan Scalley's obviously going to be really involved in it. And, you're right. That defense deserves to have an offense that complements it. We talk about complementary football all the time. They have not had an offense that complements that defense for the last 2 years. And so they got to get the right OC, SLY, and I think they also need to go get the right quarterback. Do you believe that quarterback's in their program right now, or do you feel like they really need to go out there and get somebody that can start next year and help them win?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen capable guys, right? We've seen Brandon Rose come in, he'd be capable. We've seen, Luke Batari come in these last 2 games and seem capable and competent. And so I think whoever the OC that comes in, he's going to have his own opinion. He's going to bring somebody with him, right? And so then the art of competition comes in. I hope Isaac Wilson stays. I think that he's a Utah man, and so he's got to fight, and that's what a lot of these guys in the transfer portals and in high school, they don't know how to fight anymore. And so competition brings out the best. Isaac Wilson, you still have a red shirt year, man. So if you need the red shirt this next year to grow and develop and find out what is exactly for you, there's no penalty. There's nothing negative about sitting a year. And I think these young kids need to understand that. I need to grow. I need to develop. Give me the opportunity. And I just don't think that anybody, these kids understand that. They all want to play right now. And I think the kids that are having the most success are the people that have taken the time to develop. And I hope Isaac Wilson takes that into account and tries to develop and stays here at Utah and really adheres to that. But, as far as being aggressive, I think that all depends on the OC that we bring in, what style of offense he is, what type of personnel does he want to, engage with on this team, and does it fit the personnel now, or is he going to bring somebody with him? So it's open. That transfer portal is huge. I can't imagine what the number is going to be this year. It goes up by the hundreds every single year. It's going to be like 700-800 kids in the portal this year. Next Monday, it's going to be crazy. So I don't know if that person is in the portal or he's on the team. I think there's a lot of other dominoes that go into place before we make that decision.
How are they going to balance out like the idea of, hey, we got to pare this thing down anyway. You got to get to 105. You have to make it a perfect 105. Not really, but I mean at the same time you want to get as close to these are the exact 105 guys we need in this room. What will that do from a transfer portal perspective? Like how many guys will Utah just lose because of the fact that they're going to have to tell them, some of these guys, that this is not going to work out and they can't be in the program anymore.
Well, it sucks. I think that there's a lot of guys that are going to get the boot, but I mean, we've seen this is going to be the transition. This is the new football, right? This is the new how it's going to be. Honestly, it all sounds just like NFL. You know, there's just guys who are not going to be able to come back. There's hard decisions, hard conversations that need to happen. Exit interviews. Sorry, son, bring your playbook and your iPad and you got to pack up your locker, right? And so that's just what happens. It sucks. It's a different day and age in college football because that's never the case. But they do got to get this number down. And so, and with that all being said, there's no love lost, right? There's no love lost, and all these kids committing other places and all this other stuff. You got to have a cold heart, and that's what sucks about college football because these 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, they need that love and support. And when it's a dog-eat-dog world, I mean, you look at the NFL guys. There's a lot of NFL guys that are struggling right now because of that business, I don't care, cold nature, right? Imagine these 17, 18, 19-year-old guys getting that, right? That is extremely detrimental to your mental strength, your mental game, and being able to play this game. And if there's something that we've noticed from the last couple of seasons, how important is your mental game? Right, in order for you to forget the last play and play on the next play, or forget the last season and go on to the next one, like that's huge. And so I just think that, you know, the way college football is going, it sucks, but it's going to be ultra competitive. It's going to be dog eat dog. It's going to be just like the NFL, I believe.
We talked about the amount of seniors that they're losing and how important it was for some of those seniors down in Orlando to have that win. They got to replace a lot of guys, Sly, but that's going to be an opportunity for some of these younger guys to step up. Can you pick one or two younger guys you've seen this year that maybe didn't get a lot of playing time or showed a flash that you think are going to be the next guy at Utah at whatever position? Who is that guy, or a couple of guys you've identified as somebody who's going to really take off and be a star in this program moving forward?
Oh man, there's a few, man. I've been big on Smith Snowden. You know what's great, JJ, is we just get to cover these guys locally before they get to this next level, right?
They should just call you guys.
It helps to see some of these guys in high school for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Isaac. Yes, Isaac has not had the great year, but we've seen Isaac, right?
The talent's there. There's no doubt.
Yeah, the talent is definitely there. Smith Snowden, man. Oh my gosh, I think he's going to be. First or second round draft pick. He's so smart, and he's so intelligent, and he's strong, and he tackles well. He blitzes well. We were high on Clark Phillips. I think he's the same type of guy. He plays that nickel position. That is so hard. The nickel position is so difficult, and the way he does it, he's playing with so much confidence right now. Like the interception for a touchdown he had, I talked to him after the game, and it was just like, because I was watching him. I saw him the play before, and he made the tackle and broke it up, and he's like, they're going to do it again. And they did it the very next play, and he's like, I just came off of my guy, and I stole it. And so I'm just like, that's baller mentality right there. That is not somebody who's a system guy. Let me make sure I do my responsibility. That's somebody who's like, look, I understand the game. Let me go make a play. That's Eric Weddle stuff right there, and just see him play with more confidence, play all over the place, track people across the field. He's so athletic. You've seen the way he kick returns. That guy right there is. I hope he can, last his whole 4 years at Utah. But he might leave early because of how talented he is. But he's definitely the future. Lander Barton finally, the last 5 games of the season, I believe he finally got his feet ready to go. Keanu Tonavasa, he's just a beast. I don't know if he's going to plan to go to the draft or not or whatever. But him, Logan Fano, Teo Johnson, those guys are the guys of the future, man. Cam Calhoun, I'm really big on him. I love his man-to-man defense, his mentality. He does it right. So the defense, I think we're set. Right? We get another linebacker. We get Levani Damuni back next year. So he's kind of like Corinne Reed. So I think that drop-off is not going to be huge with Levani Damuni and Lander Barton back. You get another year of Jonah Hall having experience. He's going to be even better next year. So defensively, you got to be excited if you're a Utah fan. But offensively, Spencer Fano, man, we talked about this guy. He's so athletic. And towards the end of the season, I seen that mean streak. We were talking about it earlier in the season where we got to see that nastiness from the offensive line, right? You know, that front seven nastiness and going and crushing people and just having fun, getting pancakes and just being a terror. At the end of the season, I saw that from Spencer Fano, and that's what you need. You need that leader, right? That's that Braden Daniels mentality that we had a couple years ago, and then we get a couple more guys to fill out those other spots. I'm really happy. We saw Zachariah Williams. That guy is he's gonna be awesome. He's awesome. He's got his head on his body, and he knows where he is. He's got a lot of work to do. He understands that. He just wants to be great. He's a very humble kid. And, talking to him after the game, but Coach Witt said he's going to have a bright future, and that's because of his personality. And, guys with that personality are coachable, and they're going to last over time. And I think that's what Coach Witt was talking about with that, man. So tons and tons of talent on this team. Excited to see what they got next. We need to get a running back. We need to get some more offensive linemen. And, another great tight end. We'll be set on offense.
Not too much to ask, right? Christmas list?
No,
a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Hey, that's what the portal's for, and that was a heck of a breakdown, Sly. That's going to get Utah fans excited after a tough season to know that there's some guys in the program that are going to make them better in the future.
Sly, what are we going to do with ourselves now that football season's over, man?
Talk more football. What are you talking about? Football's 365. If you tell me a fan that doesn't want to hear football news any day of the year, that's what I love about football. Football is literally taking over. Yeah, basketball's fun. Yeah, football and soccer and MLS is fun, but nothing's like a football Norte Americano, right? Like this is love. Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves the gear that comes with football. The conversations, the things that happen, and it's crazy. There's only 12 games a year in college, 16 in the NFL, but it's just taking off. Whether it's NFL, local guys, JJ, we cover it every week. The guys from locally around here that are making it pro, fans are attached to them. There's conversations we can have every single day of the year.
Stevenson Sylvester. Sly, of course, phenomenal season we've had with you, buddy. We appreciate all the breakdowns every week that you give us, and something tells me you're still always going to be heard on the program throughout the year. It is a 365 deal, and you're much more well-rounded than just the football genius that people make you out to be.
We need to have a movie show with Sly.
I was going to say, he's our pop culture expert. Yeah, man.
That's what we need to do.
Oh, pop culture? I'm so old, man. I'm trying to look out for that quarterback position you were trying to put me in at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So, we can do a landscaping show as well.
Oh, hold on a minute.
We're all fully old man at this point.
Oh, yeah. Sly, before we get you out, though, what about your Steelers, dude?
Hey, what have we talked about, right? It's like, but for real, it's like, look, if we get a quarterback that can just take care of the football, just show a little bit of competency, that's all we need. He doesn't need to be all world. He doesn't need to be, all NFL, anything Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't need to do that.
Why did he do that in Denver?
No.
Where was that guy the last 2 years?
It's culture. No, it's culture. He's right. He's right. It's culture. You got to have a good football culture. You got to have a winning culture.
The culture you can only get in Pittsburgh. Get out of here with that.
No, seriously, you can. Look at Steelers traditionally, right? You got 3 coaches in the last 60 years, right? And I just believe that, as I told you before with Isaac Wilson and college players, the mental game is so important, even for a Super Bowl winning quarterback like Russell Wilson. If he doesn't, look how dejected Russell Wilson looked in a Broncos uniform. His defensive guys were yelling at him. Sean Payton was yelling at him, even when he had the same exact statistics as Patrick Mahomes, but support, right? Even when Patrick Mahomes does terrible stuff, look at us throwing Patrick Mahomes in there again. But look at it, when Patrick Mahomes does terrible stuff, you don't see that over there. Even when in Pittsburgh, right? He threw a pick 6 at the beginning of the game this weekend. They stuck with him, and he went on to have the second most yards he's ever had in his career. And so, it's support. It's just a different atmosphere from the teammates to the coaching staff, administration, just everybody around. It's a family affair. I've, of course, been a part of that organization, so I get it. I know, man, and that's just perfect for Russell Wilson to do. He's making himself valuable. All the question that I've been asking the last 3 weeks is, what are they going to do in this offseason, right? Do you take another year away from Justin Fields, or do you add another year to Russell Wilson. He's doing exactly what you want at quarterback, but he's also extremely valuable as far as the trade markets and stuff like that. So what are you going to do? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Sly, we've kept you too long, but we love having you on the program, man. As always, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll chat with you again soon.
Appreciate you guys, man. Take care.
There you go.
Sly.
Stevenson Sylvester.
Great info.
We'll take a break. Look, you know what? If you're a Utah fan, you should be. He's had a negative vibe for a lot of the season, but that was positive, Sly. That was good, Sly.
Utah fans are going to want to hear that.
Yeah, man.
That whole thing. That was good stuff.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, we've got our NFL Blitz. You don't want to miss any of it. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You know what that music means. This is absolutely music to our ears. On a Monday Night Football matchup, you've got the Broncos and Browns. I don't hate the Broncos, man. I like when a guy like Bo Nix shows up and starts to do a little something, you know? I like when you see a young guy start to have a little bit of success, and they're figuring it out a little bit. It's a team that hasn't been to the playoffs since 1997. What? When did you guys win the Super Bowl last? 98?
The Broncos?
Yeah.
Are you just trying to totally erase 2015?
Oh, and they beat Cam Newton. Cam Newton.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
2 years after. Well, I won't talk about that Super Bowl.
It's my Seahawks. Old Peyton. Hey, Peyton Manning was so dang old at that point. He still got you guys to the Super Bowl, man. Good for you. You know what that music means, of course.
2016, I should have been more accurate.
It's our NFL Blitz. And you can join Hans and Scotty, by the way, tomorrow. Oh, no, Wednesday, rather. They're going to be out from noon to 3 during their program at El Matador, Utah Mexican food staple for over 50 years. There you go. Join them at Matador. We have some you might want to hit the breaking news sounder from the NFL breaking news desk that JJ is going to break down here for us. JJ, you said you had a bit of breaking news. What do you have?
I got a big story coming out. This is going to impact things in the at least in the AFC West for sure.
Maybe the playoff race.
This is terrible news. NFL official Carl Paganelli has torn his ACL and is reportedly out for the season. This is a massive loss for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Other refs are going to have to step up.
Is Parker in there? Good. Good.
What are they going to do without Carl?
The AI voice of Chris Collinsworth doing all the Mahomes love on X, I can't get enough of it. You know, that's a really great throw. It's a lot like my guy, Patrick Mahomes, would have made. In fact, I've never seen anybody do it better. In fact, will you marry me, Patrick Mahomes? They do it all I'm pretty
sure
voice.
Chris loves Patrick Mahomes more than his own sons.
Or when they snap, or when they edit all together, all the clips. They're like, oh, what a great play, holding on the offense. You know you're not supposed to do that at the end of the game here late. The Chiefs are going to win the football game. All right.
Chris Collinsworth could not love a human baby more than he loves Patrick Mahomes.
Locals in the NFL. JJ, give us the 2-minute version of how this one happened.
Okay, let's go back to Thursday. Jordan Love, Utah State legend, had a good Thanksgiving, won himself a turkey leg that he was able to chew on national TV.
Who was the guy on their roster who was eating the carrots off to the side?
Oh, I forget. Was it a linebacker?
Yeah, he kind of made some quick internet fame because everybody's eating turducken and he's over there eating a carrot.
What a weirdo! You got to get in on that turducken action.
Come on, man.
Anyway, Love 21 of 28, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Packers have only lost 3 games this year, and they're in 3rd place.
Yeah,
in the NFC North.
You got the Lions and the Vikings,
possible?
Man. Lions and Vikings. Well, because as you know, Sam Darnold's really good. You knew that going into the season,
right? Yeah, everybody knew that and expected that. Yeah. Former Utah safety Julian Blackmon, out of Layton High School, recorded 6 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 pass breakup, and an interception in the end zone in a game that the Colts won by 1 point. That was a massive, massive play to keep the other team from getting any points on that drive, and it ended up being a big difference in that game. Bingham High standout Dalton Schultz, 5 passes, 61 yards, and a touchdown against the Jags. And Puka Nacua continues to tear it up now that he's healthy, starting to play like we expected him to all season long. 5 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. And he also had a carry for 7 yards. But Puka has 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, starting to look like all-pro Puka again.
All-pro Puka. I like saying that. It's fun. All right, there you go. There's some of the hits.
And, of course, the sad news about Taysom Hill.
Taysom's out for the year officially now, yeah.
Yeah, if you saw it, that hit was brutal.
Pretty
I don't
cheap,
think
right?
I don't think it was dirty. I think the guy you're going to go low on a guy like Taysom. How is a defensive back supposed to tackle Taysom? It just, unfortunately, the helmet was right at the knee, and it went the wrong way. And now I just worry about Taysom. At age, he'll be 35 to start next season. Will he recover from this injury? Will he be back next season? Can he continue to play at the level that he played out this year? Because I thought he was at his best this year when healthy.
We'll take the break here. There's your NFL Blitz. We'll come back. We've got more right around the corner. Our best and worst, and then we'll get you ready for Utah Hockey Club. And it's hockey night in Utah coming up at 6 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. Stay here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone on a Monday. Monday Night Football tonight is your Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. Fun. You got
all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Thanks, Hank Williams Jr.
Including Bo Cephas.
Hey, listen. At some point, was there an SNL skit, or am I just imagining this?
That's a reference to
the
it.
Bo Cephas one.
Chris Farley as...
And he was definitely like...
Hank Williams Jr. is one of the most underrated Chris Farley.
We got to... They're like, we need to shoot all these... We got the Browns and the Steelers and... Like,
and we're coming over tonight. All my rider friends.
My goodness. All right. Best and worst brought to you by an incredible selection of Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. And now Mitsubishi in American Fork. American Fork, Spanish Fork, and Linden is where you can find the Doug Smith family of dealerships. Nobody knows cars like Doug. Let me see here. So the best. Utah and BYU volleyball teams both going to the NCAA tournament. So
awesome.
There you go.
Utah hosting this week, Thursday, Friday. So if you're a Utah fan or a BYU fan, well, BYU would be hard. You have to go to West Lafayette, Indiana. But Utah is going to host right here.
Has the Big 12 helped improve those programs then? Even just 2 short years, I guess?
I think, Utah was in a very, very good volleyball conference in the Pac-12. BYU, obviously, this is a big step up for them. They've been very good for a long time.
Yeah, they're good, and they were just kind of cobbling together really, really good
But they
schedules,
obviously probably were drugged down a little bit by the WCC, but now they're in the Big 12, and it's a big deal for them, too.
There you go.
They got a 5 seed, even though they're 19-9.
Oh, it's like the Big 12 in basketball. Come on.
Right.
Get over it. The worst is I still can't get over it. The hit on Trevor Lawrence. It's a tough one too because when you have one that starts off a career of, I don't know if he's had concussions before, but if you start going this direction, then it's like every time you start going the Tua route, you start going the Steve Young route where you go, I'm hanging it up early. And it all started with that one freaking hit. And did they already announce what the fine's going to be or no?
Not yet.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
I know they're probably going to look at it, and I don't know if
Aziz Al-Shaair was the one that did it.
He's got a history of this,
and that's the hard part. Like, I understand football's a violent game, and he's trying to make plays and trying to stay in the league, but that's what we're trying to get out of the game. It's brutal.
Gosh, who was the barefoot kicker for the daggum Broncos that missed?
Rich Carlos. Oh, he made it.
Oh, he didn't make it.
Oh, he made it.
It looked like he missed.
Rich Carlos, can't forget, 1986. Playing the Browns tonight.
Oh, Bernie Kosar. All right, Utah Hockey Club coming up next. You got your pregame, and then puck drops at 7. So for JJ, our producer Alex, I'm Alex. We'll see you next time, everybody.